Hello, in this guide I'll be showing you the new buildings in Brave New World. So, start off is the airport. The airport is a late era building that will allow you to airlift units into various cities and will generate more tourism. To those that have or still played Civilization 4, your prayers have been answered, at least mine. The single building will fix my quarrel with this game. I had a big pet peeve, especially when Civilization 5 came out. I mean, me and my dad usually play this game, anybody really wondering. And me and him have been playing since Civilization 1, since the first game came out. And obviously they didn't exactly have airports at that point, but I remember we played a lot during Civilization 4, and airports was a blessing to me because I loved being able to make a city on another continent or an island and then use the airport to airlift another unit into another city. So it made it extremely helpful. And this airport will help anybody that had that same issue. I mean, this building will allow you to expand very quickly on land that is very far away from you as well. As I was mentioning, if you just build a quick city on another continent or an island or whichever, you can build a unit, let's say a settler or a worker or whomever, or you build a settler and a worker in two separate cities with airports in it, and you airlift them both over to the city that's on another continent. You can rapidly expand on that next continent. Now, it's good and bad. Obviously, if you're somebody that's lacking in technology, then this is horrible for you because, well, you're not going to be wanting them to expand on your continent very quickly. But regardless, the other benefit that this building will give you is 50% of the culture from world wonders, natural wonders, and improvements, landmarks, moe, and chateau included, is added to the tourism output of the city. Tourism output from great works is increased by 50%, so this is an all-around great building to build, and I highly recommend it in any city that you build, especially if you're looking for a cultural victory. And then this will cost you 400 production, and its maintenance is 5, so it's a very costly building to maintain, just like it is in the real world. You'll need to be in the atomic era to build it. So let's go to the modern era here. It'll cost you 300 production to build the hotel. And the hotel is 50% of the culture from world wonders, natural wonders, and improvements. Landmarks, moe, and chateau is added to the tourism output of the city. Tourism output from great works is increased by 50%. So again, this is a great cultural building. And as you can tell, cultural victories are not really won or really started until the end of the game. A lot of the cultural inducing things really aren't until the end of the game again. If you check out the changes to cultural victory, or if you already have, you'll know a little bit more about this as well. So if you haven't, go check that out. And then this is a great addition to those seeking out the cultural victory, which really started later in the game, as I mentioned again. Regardless, it's a huge benefit to have this. Plus, it doesn't cost any maintenance to you, so it is a fantastic building. And then let's go back way back to the Caravan. I know it's around here somewhere. There we go. Caravan Cannot pronounce that word, so forgive me. It costs you 120 production. Land trade routes originating from the city have a 50% increase in range and produce an additional 2 gold when connected to another civilization. This is an absolute must for any civilization. If you do not have this, I'm curious about you. I'm wondering what's wrong because you need this. And then this will help you out with your current trade routes. Make sure to find a city that will be able to trade with almost any city that produces tons of gold, so that you will make the most use out of this building. It will earn you more gold based on the land trade routes, and the harbor is now a little bit updated. I won't go into it, but that also has the same effect as this if you build a harbor. So essentially I would highly recommend building a city on the coast and then having this alongside a harbor and using those trade routes mixed in with commerce. You have all those three mixed in and you will make lots of money, tons of money. And the best civilization as an example of this would be Venice. I use Venice in a lot of my examples here just because they are a fantastic civilization to play. The unfortunate part is that obviously you only can have one city that you can control, and outside of that you can't have any more, and the rest are all puppeted. Nonetheless, if you build Venice on a coastal tile and you have tons of cities around you, you will make lots of money through your trade routes. But regardless, again, no matter what civilization you play, you're going to need these. This is how you make money in the game now. And then lastly, the last building is going to be the zoo, which is right on here. It'll cost you 200 production. Its maintenance is 2. Its happiness will give you 2. And it will need a coliseum before you can build it. You'll need the printing press in order to start building this building as well. that cannot provide more happiness than there are citizens in a city. The city must have a coliseum, as I already mentioned. Now this is, I would say, an upgrade from the theater that you used to be able to build in previous civilization iterations, but unfortunately this really isn't an upgrade. Unfortunately, this is more of a downgrade. You just get a fancy new little tile thing that's called a zoo. Prior, this used to give you +3 happiness, and I always loved the theater because of that, but now you only get +2 happiness. And I understand why, because around this time there's tons of other things that will give you happiness now rather than just that +3 to a theater. So, I mean, again, this is really just a theater, but now it's called a zoo. You get a fancy little elephant icon. And that's going to wrap it up for New Buildings of Brave New World, so please rate, subscribe, and comment. Those of you looking on YouTube, watching this video, check out the description. There's a link to my Steam guides. Please check that out. There's tons of other civilization stuff on there. And then those that are looking on Steam guides, check out my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Check out some of the other stuff I got. I got tons of civilization stuff alongside other things that I know you guys would be interested in. Thanks for watching.